Hello everybody, my name is Paige and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing my August wrap-up. I managed to read 5 books and I DNF'd 1. I read 2 of them on my Kindle, 3 physical books, which it was nice to get some books off my physical TBR for once because I bought a lot of books this month, so it was nice getting some off my physical TBR. But I'm going to go ahead and get into the books that I read and my ratings and feelings on them and kind of what they were about. Fair warning, I rated everything a 5-star. I had a really good reading month. I really enjoyed all the books I read, and I know a lot of people say like you can't rate everything 5 stars. Personally, if I really like a book, I'm gonna give it 5 stars. I don't ever really read many books that I feel like I'm gonna rate lower than 5 stars because I know my taste. So occasionally I have like a 4-star, but I never really have anything lower than that. So I'm sorry if my ratings are always 5 stars, but I just really enjoy every book that I read. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. So let's go ahead and get into the books I read this month. The first book I read this month was Flawless by Elsie Silver. So this is a cowboy small town romance. We have Rhett and Summer. Rhett is a professional bull rider and he's caught saying some things that he should not have said, and he's kind of caught in this controversy. So he has a really big match. Is that what it's called? Match? Tournament? Some big bull riding thing coming up. And he has to kind of like keep clean before that and not say anything or do anything that's going to cause more controversy. So Summer is assigned to babysit him because her father is his agent. So she's sent to go stay with him for a little bit in his house and just basically watch him and see everything he does and make sure he doesn't say anything or do anything that's going to get him canceled again. So obviously a lot of forced proximity in this. I really enjoyed it. I have never read a cowboy romance before this, and I definitely am glad I picked it up. I really loved it. I definitely think I'm going to read the rest of the series. I loved all the characters in this, and I know there's like all the books based off of different characters you saw in this one, and I loved all of them. I have the rest of the series, so I'm definitely going to binge that eventually. I gave this 5 stars. I am so glad I gave Elsie Silver a chance. I know so many people have been like saying such good things about this series, and I'm always hesitant going into like really popular series just because I'm scared I'm not going to like it, but I am really glad I gave this a chance and read it this month. And yeah, that is our first book. The next book I read on my Kindle, and it was Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, which is part of the Maple Hills series, and I've already read Wildfire, and I have Daydream that I need to read. And after reading Icebreaker, I definitely want to read Daydream because I love all these characters so much. I love like the found family of it all and how like close the characters are. I felt so connected to them and like I knew them, which doesn't happen often for me for books. Like I never feel like that connected to characters like I did in this one, and I loved it. I also loved that there was like a plot, but there wasn't like a huge third act breakup where they're hating each other. There was a part that made me mad. It was Aaron. I'm not going to spoil anything, but he made me mad. So, but obviously that's what's supposed to happen. You're not supposed to like him as a character. So she did her job with that. I gave it 5 stars. I think I already said that, but it's a hockey romance. Basically the hockey like ice skating rink gets destroyed and they can't use it anymore. So the ice skaters and the hockey players have to share a rink. And Anastasia and Nate are our main characters, and they kind of meet, and she's mad because he's taking her rink time basically. But then they keep meeting and they become friends, and obviously more happens from that. So I really enjoyed this. I love hockey romances, so I really loved it, and I cannot wait to read Daydream. So that'll probably be on my next month's TBR. So that is our second book of the month. The next book I read this month was It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Check your trigger warnings, domestic violence. There are heavy scenes in this. There are heavy scenes that are hard to read. I know a lot of people try and say this is a little cute romance. It is not. It is not a romance book in my opinion. It is more of a book about domestic violence, surviving domestic violence. It's really good. I give it 5 stars. I'm separating the author from the book here because I did enjoy the book. So we have Lily, we have Ryle. Ryle doesn't want to get into a relationship, but Lily kind of like Lily and him keep running into each other and they end up in a relationship. But then Atlas comes back from Lily's past and it kind of confuses her a little bit. So, yeah. Yeah, I liked the characters in this. I liked that we had split timeline. Again, it's not a cute romance. It is a heavy book. So, yeah. We also have a second chance romance in here, which it gets more into that in the second book, from what I've heard. So I think I will be reading the second book. But that is what this is about. The movie just came out. If anybody's seen that, I'm not sure. I haven't seen it yet. I might watch it, but I keep seeing a lot of things about it that it doesn't include aspects of the book that are important. So I don't know if I'll go watch it, but that's my thoughts on that. The next book I have is Hers for the Weekend, which was my DNF for the month. It was an arc that I got. I don't know if I just read it at the wrong time. It's a soft DNF for right now. I don't know if I'll end up picking it back up, but for right now, it's a soft DNF. I just was not feeling it at the time. I got 30% through. I was forcing myself to get through it, and I wasn't enjoying it very much. It wasn't a bad book. The writing wasn't bad. I think it was just me, and like, it wasn't a book I wanted to read at the time. And there's so many books I want to read, so I'm not going to force myself to get through a book that I don't want to be reading just because it's an arc. So that's my DNF. The next book I read this month was You're the Problem, It's You. So I got this as an arc through NetGalley, and I loved it. I read Don't Want You Like a Best Friend by the same author. They're within the same series, and I absolutely loved that one, so I knew I'd like this one. It is about Bobby and James. They're kind of going through the same situation where they're like trying to be forced into marrying girls. Obviously, they don't want to, they're gay. But it is a enemies to lovers romance. We kind of see James go through a thing with his stepfather where he has like a controlling and abusive stepfather, which is a good like topic to bring up in a book. Like, well, not a good I don't know how to explain that, but like it was done really well bringing that topic up and discussing that and going through how James finally stood up for himself. I loved we got to see Beth and Gwen. That was so much fun. I love them so much, and I'm so glad we got to see them in this book. So I definitely recommend both of the books. You're the Problem, It's You is out now, and the other one has been out for a while, so definitely recommend them. The last book I read this month was The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. She is working her way to the top of my favorite authors. I loved Bride, and I loved this so much. So we have Olive. She is a third-year PhD candidate, and her best friend, An, wants to date the guy that she had been seeing. So in order to convince her that she can and Olive is okay with it, she pretends to be dating somebody, and she kind of kisses the first guy that she sees, and it turns out to be Adam, who is a professor and a well-known a-hole. So they decide to fake date to keep this secret for Olive, and Adam gets something out of it as well. Not gonna spoil what he gets out of it, but yeah. They decide to fake date. We all know how fake dating goes. I loved this book so much. I loved somehow, Ali Hazelwood was able to do the quirky small girl trope, and I like read it and didn't cringe. I don't know how, but I loved it. I also loved this discusses like sexual harassment in the workplace, which is a really important topic to discuss, and I love how she discussed it so much. It was amazing. I did not expect to cry at this. I cried in the last chapter so hard. I was not expecting that, but definitely recommend this one. Definitely 5 stars. That is all I have for my August wrap up. If you like this video, give it a like. If you like me, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.